All right, we are live. Hello, Rebecca. It's nice to
Hello.
have you on my channel. So today, this is kind of an impromptu chat. We have been doing Outschool camp this week, and I thought it would be fun to come on here and just kind of talk about it while we're in the middle of it, instead of waiting too long and then you kind of forget things. So hopefully it will be fun for our teacher friends to watch. Maybe
Yes.
maybe later, I don't know, because it's kind of like on the spur of the moment. So we're just going to talk about what we've been doing this week. And Rebecca and I, well, first of all, Mindy, she's the one who kind of got into the camp, the summer adventure camp for Outschool. And then she put my name down and I'm like, okay, sure, I'll do it. And then they needed more teachers. And then we kind of put it out to our friends. And I think that's how you got into it, right, Rebecca?
Yeah. Mindy invited me. And so I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
think I make this work. This sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. So they have different camps, and all of the camps are 4 days, and they're 3 hours
Per day.
per day, which is a little tricky. And then we have like the Outschool had different time zones and different times that people can sign up for. So originally, Mindy, because she lives out west, she wanted to do what would be 4 to 7 for me, which would be kind of an odd time for like Eastern kids to do a camp.
Yeah. But that's
So you
1 to 4 p.m. Pacific time. So it's right
yeah.
after lunch. In the heat of the day, they can stay inside, take a class.
Yeah, so it seems like it would have been a good time, but we didn't have a whole lot of bookings for that one. And then they opened up another one called the Unicorn Group. And so we all cut into that one. And now that one only got a few bookings too. So it
Yeah,
turned
the
out,
afternoon is just not doing so well. The morning ones really are.
yeah,
The really early morning ones and the
yeah,
mid morning ones, those are booking really well. The afternoon ones, not so much. It's just, you never know.
yeah. And this is the first time they're ever doing this. This is a pilot program. So maybe next time they will only offer the morning classes, But like it's kind of weird because, if kids can sign up from any time zone, all English speaking kids, but all over the world basically, you'd think that
Yeah,
out of all the kids in the world.
other things book well in the afternoon for us because that's early morning for people in like Australia and on that side of the world. So we were thinking it might work out, but maybe for them it is too early. Like it's not late enough to start.
Yeah. So this is the first time. So maybe with the more reviews and maybe with more people talking about it and getting the word out there, that we will get more bookings. And so I just wanted to talk about like what we've been doing and what you think about it, because I thought it was a little weird to do camp online for 3 hours. So, it's a very unique experience. So here we go, What do you think, Rebecca?
I think it's good. And we were able to do a good job with it. It's kind of like what they were doing this year with virtual school anyway. I mean, it kind of reminded me of virtual school where you have this group of kids for this long chunk of time. This was only 3 hours instead of 6 hours, but it's more fun stuff for this one. When you had virtual school, you had to do reading, writing, math, book work, homework. It's more of that kind of stuff. Our camp's a lot of crafts, a lot of games, a lot of fun movement activities. So it's kind of like a fun day. And we have it broken up into different like activities. So it doesn't seem like 3 hours is so long. It's more like, okay, here's a 40-minute chunk. Here's a 15-minute chunk. Here's a 40-minute chunk. And so we have it broken up. And then we're like, surprise, class is done. What?
Yeah.
I know. It's kind of like it sneaks up on you because we have it so scheduled out. It's really nice.
Yeah. Now, I think didn't the woman who's in charge of it, she kind of made a tentative schedule, or did we do that? I can't remember.
She did. So when you go to the Outschool website to sign up for the class, there was an idea of it, and then we kind of adapted it because it was saying 30 minutes in breakout rooms, and then 60 minutes together, and then 30 minutes in a breakout room. And after our friend Jerry did it with a teacher, they realized for 6 to 8, 60 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
So let's rearrange that a little bit and go 40, 40, 40. So it doesn't have to be so rushed at the beginning of the 30. It also doesn't have to be so long with the 60. Same number of minutes, it's just broken up differently. And I like it. I like the feel to it. I like being able to slow down in the breakout rooms and then have a shorter big group.
Right. So just whoever's watching, you can just Rebecca and I both teach ESL online. That's kind of how we got started. And then we also teach for Outschool. So we've been teaching for Outschool for I've been to almost a year.
I've been exactly
a year. So most of our classes are mine are like a half hour.
Yeah, mine are 30 minutes on Outschool.
So we teach different things on Outschool. And so we already had classes kind of in the works, and we already do certain things. And so we kind of have a feel for teaching online, but I'm not a brick and mortar teacher. So I didn't go home from school and do, a 5-hour day or however long with kids that have never done it. Like, we've kind of worked into this. And I feel like we've had a good training on how to teach online and how to keep kids interested. We do it all the time in multiple different ways. So, but we've never done it for 3 hours in a row. And I've also never team teach like this. So the team teaching is really fun.
Fun to team teach. I haven't done it on online yet, but I have team taught with my dad many, many times. He would be the lead teacher and I'd be the assistant, and then we'd kind of bounce back and forth. So it kind of like took me back to that. I'm like, this is fun. And you're a really good team teacher, Cindy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've enjoyed it a lot. I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of teaching, a lot of different, like in my church, I've done programs like Bible school, like for a week-long program. I've been in charge of a lot of things. And it's just, when you work with people, sometimes you don't know, you set out a plan. You don't really know how that person's going to carry it out. Like, you might get to that day and that person is completely unprepared. Or, you just don't know how it's going to go.
Like, working on the lesson plans, and I'm involved with the camp with you, and then I have another camp that I'm working on with another set of teachers.
Okay.
But I was telling people, it kind of reminds me back in the high school projects where you had to like hold your weight and do your part, and you hope the other people are doing their part too. Yeah. I'm like, wow, I haven't had to do like group projects for a long time. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. They were preparing us for real life when we were in the high school group projects. And
I can remember.
In every group, there's one who's like the go-getter, and when he's like, oh yeah, I better do that too. And when he's like, I'm gonna wait to the last minute. But those are going to stress these people out. Come on. We need to know. We need to get in there. Oh, we got plenty of time. It's only due tomorrow. It's due tomorrow. Yeah. Come on, get your stuff in there. It's,
I know. And I had a lot going on. So I like some of the planning stuff. I kind of was keeping tabs on what was going on. But my mom was sick in the hospital. So I was like, in and out. I'm like, I am going to be there. I promise. I'll do my part.
Yeah. And then there's like unspecified deadlines. Like, okay, we want to get the packets out to the parents. So they can get the supplies. Yeah. Okay, well, when do you want to get the packets out? Oh, tomorrow.
Oh, yesterday.
Yesterday. What? And we were given a camp last minute. The morning camp, teachers who were supposed to do it couldn't for some reason. And so we had like 2 days to put together an entire camp on animals and send it off to the parents so they can go out and buy supplies. So we scrambled together, and I think we heard about on Thursday. We need to get the packets to them on Friday, and camp starts Monday. So we wanted to give them the weekend to go out and buy any kind of special supplies for the crafts that we were going to do. So like, okay, what can we get them to get that we already have a home, like crayons and markers and papers. Like, what can we use that they already kind of have, and keep the supplies minimal? But it's still like we're in a rush, and then they're going to be in a rush trying to get everything together. It was like, yikes.
Yeah. So I kind of look at it like as a parent too, and it's like, as a parent, your life is continuing, and you want to do this camp, but do I have time to go to the store and get all this stuff? You know. So when I plan my things, I try to kind of think simple, so parents aren't overwhelmed with their part. Because I told my husband, I said, when we've done Bible school at church, it's like for a week, same kind of thing, usually 3 to 4 hours. And we have to go out. We do all the planning. We go out and buy all the stuff. We have to put it all together. We have to set everything up. Then we have to deal with the kids. We have to get in there, and the kids make the mess. We clean it up. I mean, this is actually a little easier than all that. We just send the list to the parents, and if the kids don't have something, we just say, okay, you can do this or that.
That's the other thing. Like, when we're in charge of buying the supplies, we know that everybody has exactly what they need for every craft. There's no, they have what they need. When you do online and you have people all over the United States or even the world, you send the supplies and you hope they have something kind of like it. Yeah. And so when they go, we don't have that. Okay, think on my feet. What can you do instead? And so you always have to have alternatives and substitutes to make it work.
Right. Especially with, like, Rebecca has a lot of experiments and, fun activities like that. So, it's not very fun if you, like, say you don't have food coloring and you're trying to, color the water with food coloring. Now what do I do? So. Yeah. But I think everybody had that, but you never know. It could be some major thing that they don't have. And it's interesting too, like when the kids are doing a craft, you can't get in there and help them, like fold it this way, and you just want to like get in there and just like go like this, and you can't. You have to tell them how to do it.
Like, whatever you do is fine. However you do it, it's fine. It'll be fine. Whatever happens, it's beautiful. Good job.
Yeah, exactly. And, the kids, they are at their little station and they do their little work, and then they have to clean it up at the end, at the end we're done, which is kind of nice. I just have to clean up my own little mess.
Right. You have to stay after for like a half hour. Which I do have. Yes,
which I do have. It's just fun. It's fun. So let's just, let's kind of give the people, I'm trying to think of like how the day goes, like, what we've been actually doing. Sometimes it's hard to picture how it's going on.
Right. So we have them all together to start. We have the morning group has 7 learners in the animal class. And then the afternoon one has 6 learners. They can go all up to like 30 learners, but ours are kind of a smaller class, which is kind of nice. So we all together, we chit chat for a while, we kind of introductions, we kind of, slowly get into the day. And that's about 15 minutes. Then we do a first breakout room where we send half of the learners off with Cindy and half the learners with me. So it's like 3 and 3 or 3 and 4, math. And I have them figure it out, the math, because that's good for them to figure it out.
Right.
And then we break them up, and then Cindy does a little activity with this little group, and I do an activity with this little group. And then we come back together and we do some kind of a brain break. So movement activity or trivia or would you rather or some kind of game to kind of get them out of their desks and moving a little bit because they just sat for 40 minutes. So something to kind of get back engaged. Also, it's a bathroom break. Go, go, go. Because 3 hours is a long time to not go to the bathroom. So whenever they need to go, they can just go. And then after that brain break.
And they can go like this. That's fun too.
Yeah.
If they have to go to the bathroom, they can go like this. And then we go, okay, go ahead. They don't have to.
Because this is sign language for R, for restroom, but it's also like, I'm holding myself,
And it's kind of funny because you would think they're at home. They can go, they can get up and go whenever they want. But they still ask. Yeah.
And they'll raise their hands when they want to speak, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So after that brain break, then we have a big group. So all 6 of them or some of them are together. So Cindy and I will alternate who teaches that big group. So the first day I taught it to everybody. Second day she taught it to everybody. We also alternate the brain breaks. So after that big group, we have another brain break to kind of clean up that area, do another little fun game, go to the bathroom again, because the big group's 40 minutes, brain break's 15. Then we split up into our breakout rooms again. So whoever was with me now goes to Cindy. Whoever was with Cindy now goes to me. And they do the other activity that we had for the day. So then we can have kind of like a smaller group with only 3 or 4 kids.
Yeah.
Then we come back together for one last 15-minute show and tell review section. What did we do today? Let's review what we did. And what are the supplies we need for tomorrow? Here's what we're going to do tomorrow. Right. And then we're done. Like, that's it.
Yeah. It's really cool. And it just worked out. It's just kind of how it all worked out that Rebecca and I are doing actually 2 camps together this week.
Yes.
So we're doing, so my time, it's 12 to 3 Eastern. And then we have a 1-hour break. And then it's 4 to 7 for me. And so it's 6 hours. So, and top that off, we're doing our VIP Kid in the morning. Are you doing any other classes other than VIP Kid?
No, because my classes conflicted with the time.
Oh, okay.
So I just canceled all my Outschool classes for this week. Because for me, I'm doing VIP Kid until 7 a.m. And then my camp starts at 10. So my camps are from 10 to 1. And then from 2 to 5, because I'm over in the mountain time zone. Okay. So it's a little bit earlier. So I'm done, by dinner time. But then it's like, what are we going to have for dinner? I don't know. I've been in the room for 6 hours.
My family waited. My husband waited for me last night till 7 o'clock. And then we went out to eat. I'm like, thank you so much. Like, let's just get out of here.
What you were up for dinner? Like,
I know they could have cooked, but they didn't cook.
Because I've been in the bedroom teaching for 6 hours a day. Exactly. My husband's had to be stay-at-home dad this week.
Oh,
he's
right.
Wow, I can see what you do every day. I know, right? It's more than you think, right? Just even getting them fed and dressed, that's enough. And if you have to go out anywhere, it's like, it's her deal. Like, yep. You know now, huh? Because I have a 5-year-old and an almost 2-year-old. And so,
and you're doing it all for free. Like, nobody's paying you for it either.
Right? Yet I'm usually doing the mom stuff in between my regular Outschool classes, which are like a half hour, an hour chunk of time. So, but this longer chunk, I don't really, get a chance to. So he's been taking care of it this week, which is awesome. He's doing a great job.
That is great that he's home though, that you can do that.
Yeah, because
I wouldn't be able to do it if I had little kids because my husband's gone all day.
I'm lucky that he's like a DoorDash delivery person, so he can choose when he wants to work. And I said, okay, this week just work from like 7 to 9 a.m. before I teach.
Awesome.
And then you stay home, and then you can decide if you want to go back out again or not. And I will make up the difference money-wise of what you lost because he's camped. So it'll all work out.
Wow. That is great. That's great that you can work together like that.
Yeah. Now, if we did this during the school year, I wouldn't be able to because he's going to be a full-time teacher in the fall. Okay. So I would have to friends, neighbors, family.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So I wanted to talk also about the kids because I've been sometimes people worry about, having the kids for a long period of time and how they're going to behave and how you're going to keep them interested. These have been all kids in America. And they, from what I understand, from what they tell us, I think, and I think most of them are from the West, like California, some from, I think, Seattle, they said. But so the kids have been awesome. I have been so impressed with these kids. They're normal kids, but they're used to kind of doing online stuff now. They've been doing it for a year and a half, a little bit. And they're young, like they're really good. Like we told them, hey, you don't have to mute because we're a small group and we don't mind if you talk out a little bit, but a lot of them just mute anyway. They mute every time because they're used to it.
Yeah, so I have to ask them, you need to unmute because I'm asking you questions and I'm just
kind of annoying to wait. It's kind of it's annoying to wait for them.
You can, especially in the breakout rooms where you only have 3 students, you're like, you can just talk. I'm just be asking out questions. You guys can shout out answers. And I don't want to just talk to myself.
Right. So Evelyn was asking the ages. So the first class is it 5 and 6?
And 4. So it's like 4s and 5s.
Okay.
For the zany zoology class that we kind of took over.
Yeah.
The other one, the afternoon that we chose the theme of rainbow theme, is for ages 6 to 8.
And Evelyn says it's so cool we can teach together. I know, it just worked out because it was kind of a hodgepodge and kind of like a thing. It just kept weird things kept happening. And this is how it ended up.
Yep. And originally it's going to be 3 teachers for like 18 students.
Right.
But with low enrollment, as we start getting fewer and fewer people, learners, we decided to cut down the teachers to make it worthwhile, worth our time and our money, to split it 3 ways instead of 2 ways, or vice versa. So we had thresholds that we wanted to meet, even meet as a class, or cancel it, or if we have 2 teachers or 3 teachers.
So if we had been able to do one camp with 3 teachers, it was going to be Mindy and me and Rebecca. And if we had done one camp with 18 kids, there's no way I'd be doing 2 camps, because we've been making enough money. We wouldn't need to do. We'd be like, I'm all
like
set.
One camp per week, just like the afternoon camp every week, and then that's it.
Because it's the same kind of thing. You get paid a percentage of. So the more kids that you have in your class, the more money you're gonna make. So
So the students will pay their big chunk amount for the week, and then we would divide that by the 3 teachers or the 2 teachers, and then we take off the 30% the Outschool gets to take, and so then that's our take-home pay.
Right.
So it actually works out pretty well.
So we're doing pretty good for the week. I'm not going to cry about it, but I kind of a little disappointed that our time for our camp didn't get booked for the whole summer, because I was going to be doing more weeks. But it looks like this is the only week that I'm going to be able to do it. So I'm glad that I got 2 camps this week. And I'm just giving it all I've got. And then it's okay, because I have a life. I will fill it in my time with other things. Definitely. But I was really looking forward to the money and, making money this summer. But it's okay. I can try other things, and I still have it. It helps me also to have more confidence with what I'm doing for Outschool. I can, be more creative now. And my knitting class has been getting more activity, so I might be able to do more with that. So we'll see what happens. I mean, this type of online teaching seems to be like, when I first started, it seems like, okay, I want this many hours, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. And then the company changes, and this changes, and that changes. So I think we've learned that this is the way it's going to be with this type of job. Be flexible. Look forward to new things, and look forward to changes, because there will be happening.
Yep.
So but it's been a lot of fun. So today we're going to have time until we have a few hours. What, 9:30?
Yeah,
we have a couple 2
hours, 2.5. Yeah, and I go prepare my space for both camps. I try to get everything there for both of them, because with only 1 hour in between, that's during lunchtime. I got to put my daughter down for a nap. I got to eat something, and then it's like, it's go time. So I want to make sure that I can, have that switch. And so I have a little laundry basket in my bedroom, because I'm not teaching here, because here is where the whole house is. There's no door here behind me, and having the kids run around be too chaotic. So I'm like, let's go behind a door. So I got to take over the bedroom. I wheel my desk in there and take over there, but I can't really leave, because if my 2-year-old sees me, it's like game over, So I have to make sure everything is ready to go, so that I can grab it later on. But we do have times that we can turn our cameras off. So like if Cindy's doing a breakout, I'll turn mine off, and I'll go to the bathroom, or I'll go grab what I need to go. Oh, I forgot something for the big group, then I'll come back.
Yeah.
And when I teach a breakout, or not a breakout, but like a brain break or a big group, Cindy will turn off her camera, and she'll go do what she needs to do and come back. So they do allow the teachers to have breaks when the other teacher has the entire group together, which is really nice.
Yeah, that is really nice too. So you don't have, and even if like sometimes I'll just be sitting there and I just turn the camera off just to kind of take a break myself from the camera, so, and that is really awesome. So technically you could do 6 kids by yourself, but it would be exhausting. It's nice to have another teacher where you're kind of working together, and
trade-off times.
It would be really tiring. And it's good for the kids too. They have a little bit of variety. They have things to look forward to. And we have little games that we do. Like sometimes I pull out, now this game was a game we'll probably play today that, some of the teachers do for VIP Kid for rewards. So we do games like that. So we do simple games. And I also have like these cards that will do just really simple card games. So everything that you do doesn't have to be a majorly planned out supersonic activity,
Yeah,
Sometimes,
and that's what I've been learning this week. Is nice to have these grab and go 5-minute, 10-minute little games and activities, which I don't normally have time for my Outschool classes. My 30-minute classes are so jam-packed with these experiments that I don't have a lot of like wiggle room. So I'm like, oh great. And I need to get some more wiggle room stuff. Because my ESL classes, VIP Kid is so jam-packed too, you hardly ever have time at the end too. So I haven't done much of those in a while. So I've been stealing some of Cindy's ideas for later. We learn from each other.
Awesome.
And so I'm like, oh, I like the way you taught that, or I like the way that you did that. Okay, I'm gonna change it and adapt it and use that in my classes too. I like, it's nice to have some filler activities.
Yeah, I've learned that sometimes, we as adults, we get really complicated because we know a lot and we want to pack it in. But then we forget that kids kind of need that little bit of downtime kind of thing, like you're maybe just coloring and talking. I did read a story, I don't know if you knew that, but I read a story and they really liked that. They were really quiet. It was just a Winnie the Pooh story. And we drew a bug. So this was with the dice game. And in drawings, I have a lot of drawings, and I do those with my math class where you can draw a circle. You draw a circle and you can draw different types of animals with just a circle. So there are lots of things like that you can do. And it's perfect setup where we have the 15 minutes and we'll tell the kids go to the bathroom or get a snack. And you might have 2 kids sitting there. So you have to do something that the other kids won't feel like left out, So anything like that is really fun.
So you like stretches, we do charades, we do like mindfulness activities. Yesterday I saw them all go crazy. So we did a little bit of a, just like a downtime thing.
Mindfulness activity.
Yeah, just kind of let's bring it in a little bit. Let's calm it down before we have to go back up to hyper again. Because I have to remember, I'm a hyper person. We can just go. And I have to remember that we need sometimes to just calm it down, relax, have a little story, have a little calm time, and then we can go right back up. So we have to have these ebbs and flows.
Right. That is so true. All right. And it's been a real privilege to work with Rebecca. I really enjoyed it. She's a great teacher and a great organizer. She did a lot of like making lists and kind of getting things organized into. Now, I found that like with this paper, we kind of organized the times right here. And then we had like who does what. But then I had another paper where we actual do. So I kind of like wrote on my other paper, like kind of merge everything together. Like who's doing it? What am I doing? And what time is it? Because I found that like we say this is for 15 minutes, but then I forget. When did we start this
we
class?
But 11:05, and so it goes to 11:55. Weird times. So I'm constantly looking on my wall next to me because I have it like at a sheet on the wall where they can't see it. To go, okay, it ends at 11:55. Okay, it's 11:40 now. Okay, got 15 more minutes. So I'm constantly looking and seeing how much longer I have.
Checking the time. and the other thing is like the time difference. Like originally, I thought the class was going to be 9 a.m. my time till 12 p.m. But the first day I figured out it's 12.
Like, wait, are we in class? Like, no, we got a couple more hours. What are you talking about? We do? Yeah. It starts,
I was like, Rebecca, hurry up, send me the link. She's like, it's not for 3 more hours, Cindy. Oh my goodness. It was a weird, like all of a sudden, woo, mind shift.
time zones. We think we have it down, and then something's happening. Like, wow, I'm all confused. Like,
yeah, it was really fun. So thank you so much for doing this live. And if you guys have any questions, type in the chat box. Maybe we'll do this again at the end of the camp. And it will be fun if they get this going. And I'm sure there's enough kids in the country, in the world, that could enjoy this type of camp. It was a really great idea. And I think it's, I thought it was a little weird, and I still think it's a little weird. But, and you might want to do a camp in person more. I would rather do it in person. That's for sure. I would rather do it in person, but maybe some people do both. Maybe some people do in person and use this as another way to keep the kids busy for a while. Because we are doing constructive activities and we are keeping them busy, and it's a good, wholesome thing rather than them sitting around watching TV or something. So
yeah. I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be helping out with the STEM camp. Okay. So it's also 3 hours. So next week in the morning, I'm doing STEM camp, and then in a few weeks from now, I'll be doing an afternoon STEM camp. We'll do the same lesson twice. So, I'm also working on that.
What is
that? STEM is science, technology, engineering, math. And so we're down to 2 teachers now. So we're trying to also balance out because of low enrollment, one of the teachers dropped out. So now it's down to 2 people. So now we have to quickly adapt our lessons from split 3 ways in the lesson plans to 2 ways. So we each have to take a little bit more lessons. So I'm scrambling, trying to, figure out more things to put in there and to get the packets out to the parents. But we're going to do I'm doing all my science activities. Just the content is more STEM and building and sciencey and math related versus artsy.
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of similar. The content is a little more streamlined.
Yeah. I noticed that in these camps, they have generic camps like ages 6 to 8 or ages 3 to 5. They also have specified camps. Like we actually took over the one called Zany Zoology. So we knew that one was animal themed. The STEM camp is STEM themed. There's one about like dinosaurs. That's going to be dinosaur themed. So the parents can choose an actual themed camp or a generic camp and just be surprised with whatever theme that the teachers came up with.
Right. Okay, that sounds great. Excellent. Okay, well, thank you, Rebecca, and we better get going so we can have our little break time. And I will see you later. Okay, thank you, everyone, for coming. Have a great day, guys. Bye.